preparing for our final moments. We are, as we're gearing up to possibly watch the other semi-final match.
Yeah, they're in game 3 right now, so we're going to be hopping into there to see who's actually going up against Coco in the finals against the Draven, because Draven was on everyone's hit list. It was the most represented deck. A lot of folks were like, North America's the League of Draven. That's what's going to win in Atlanta. And now we get to see what the challenger is going to be between Alanzq and Prismaticism. It is Ezreal versus Annie, game 3.
All right, and we're seeing that the final game is going to be on Zon Warrens and Sigil of the Storm.
I did not notice that Alanzq was on Sigil of the Storm this entire time, so I'm assuming that that would mean Prismaticism is going first. Usually don't want to give your opponent something easy to conquer there, but we'll see what happens here as it is Annie set up. Oh, he's got the Annie best of, I think, with it. Look at that.
Oh wow, that's
crazy. A flex.
Yeah,
that's a flex.
Gotta go ahead and let the world know. Yeah, gotta go ahead and let the world know
that might be 2 metal Annies on the field.
We've got the metal Annie right here.
That's crazy. That's like, you're just mogging Alanzq right now. Jeez.
I freaking love it. Well, we're gonna go ahead and y'all, he's playing with the Chinese version of the card, so do bear with me. But we're going in with the overzealous fan.
You got it.
I can read Mandarin. I can read it. Yeah. That says overzealous fan.
I go by picture. I'm like, that guy looks
overzealous.
A little too excited. And what's another word for fan?
And very...
a little too breezy. I went with the other definition of fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Switch it up on you. All right, the overzealous fan can now go into a battlefield. We can go for the Zon Warrens, get a discard and a draw, and also defend it. But against Ezreal, it's kind of scary. He's just going to have stuff to bounce it back, specifically things like Wages of Pain. So Prismaticism is going to opt to, again, this is what I've noticed from him. Instead of going in and accepting, all right, I'm going to trade 1-for-1 resource, you're saying, no, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to hit my thing. You're just going to have wasted runes. Because I think Alanzq against most opponents would say, oh, I'm going to Wages of Pain here. I'm going to get a gold gear, spend my 3 runes, deal with the threat. But now instead, he has a card in hand, but he didn't develop a board, he didn't get to spend the runes, he doesn't have the gold gear. So in that specific instance, I think Prismaticism's feeling pretty good, but Alanzq can just play a Ravenbloom student and still have the card, because if you don't chew through it, you don't chew through it. It's still in the hand of Alanzq.
Yes, so we've got that Kai'Sa ready and the overzealous fan ready, and looking to make some moves here. Both battlefields are open.
I'm imagining with the Kai'Sa, now we will conquer. First off, a Wages of Pain alone will not deal with it. There's only 3 runes up, so it's not like a Stupefy Wages is in your future. Maybe a Stupefy Gust is in your future. But again, you get through 2 of the resources then. So all that to say, Kai'Sa should go into the here. Yep, and it does go into the Zon Warrens.
Yep, so we're going to go ahead and score our first point of this game.
That'll get a draw for the Kai'Sa.
Yep.
And trigger the Zon Warrens, so we'll have to discard and draw another card, and then we can send the overzealous fan in to defend the Kai'Sa, and Alanzq will not get a action window to react to that. I say react to act to that, I suppose, as it would be an action spell, and that would force Alanzq instead to like use the Wages of Pain on their turn, which feels much better because then they can't use those 3 runes as well to do other stuff.
And it looks like the Rek'Sai is going to get discarded here before the draw. Instead of playing that, we're just going to go ahead and put that in our trash bin.
6 runes up, a lot of options to develop right now. The one thing I am expecting is still overzealous fan to go to the battlefield, because the reason I just gave, even if it's hit at that point, I think it feels better because it's still 3 essentially wasted runes from Alanzq on this current turn. And then if Alanzq uses Wages of Pain, that would be 3 runes spent on his turn that he can't use on other things. But again, Prismaticism very often does things that I'm not expecting. Very often he goes for a hyper safe play. So there is still a world where he just doesn't move it up there and instead develop something else. I am kind of imagining it's not a Ferris Forerunner, because I feel like if it is, that's such an obvious move that you would just drop it right now. But I haven't gotten a good look at his hand.
Do you think he's going to tap both legends when he taps his legend?
Do you think if you get 2 Metal Annies that you're able to tap both and get 4 untapped at the end of your turn. Like, is that just like you get a cheat code?
I can't wait to see when we get off of this turn. We are going to move that overzealous fan, and we are going to go ahead and exhaust 6, and we're bringing in 2 more Rek'Sais. That's why we discarded the Rek'Sai, babes. We got all 3.
All right, I want to point out 2 things. First off, that's a lot of aggression on Prismaticism's next turn. Second of all, I think for the first time today, I've successfully predicted a move that Prismaticism might do. So, just want to say, I'm learning.
Did we tap the legend?
Getting into his mind. You know, I don't have the hair he has that he keeps playing with.
Yeah.
But I'm pretending I do. I'm shadow hair tugging, you know?
I'm just really sad because I wanted to see both Annies simultaneously tapped here.
Yeah, well, they don't actually have to exhaust in order to ready the runes. They just kind of
do it.
Yeah. But
just for the vibes, you know.
Yeah, he could build like a tower of Annies. Right now, he's got like a.
Yeah, he's got the bottom.
What's the battle formation of the Trojans? The phalanx. He's got a phalanx of Annies. Although that would require 1 behind as well. But that's the spear. All right, we need a 3rd Metal Annie for Prismaticism in order for my joke to work. So let's work on that.
Maybe he'll use the Blade of the Ruined King promo card since he's got top 8.
Fortunately, not the correct domain, but I like where your head's at. Let's see what Alan does on his turn here. As he's got the Rain Bloom Student. Can get buffed if you play spells, and again, that Wages of Pain has kind of been read from the beginning from Prismaticism. And I've already kind of given the thought process here, so Alanzq will go through it, but this feels so much better than getting hit on your turn, because Alanzq just had 2 turns in a row where he had 3 runes up that he didn't get to use, and now he has to spend them on his turn, and will only have 4 more to play with.
We're looking for the response, and it looks like that's going to go through. We pass, and we pass back. What
I think that Alanzq has passed, and that now Prismaticism is thinking. The only thing that you would really have is like a flash, maybe a hard bargain, but it will go through. So Wages of Pain has dealt with the Overzealous Fan and has created a exhausted gold gear, and now comes the card sharp.
And now comes the card sharp. So we are actually going to get 2 gold gears here on this turn. We've got 1 more rune left. But do we have anything that we can do?
I mean, 1 rune isn't much. You could Stupefy Kaisa, send the Raven Bloom in. Maybe that's one of the angles. You could even Hextech, or no, sorry, not Hextech Ray. This isn't Kaisa. Man, I'm so Kaisa-pilled still. Shout out Frosty. Yeah, it would really just be like the Stupefy and then Crash. Actually, it wouldn't even be a Crash at that point because we played the Wages of Pain already. So Alanzq is still thinking, still processing. 3 cards in hand. We've targeted 1 thing. I think you would probably Stupefy either way, because you get to draw off Stupefy, and then you get to use the Ezreal Prodigal Explorer legend to draw a 2nd card, because you've targeted 2 things. But you get a pick at the hand, and it looks like we're passing. Okay.
Yeah, he was asking Prismaticismism if he wanted gold from the card chart. He was like,
oh, was that it? Oh, that's really funny.
You sure you don't want this? I kind of want 1 more. But, of course, it's always bait, so we went ahead and said no, and we passed our turn.
Trying to spot what's in Alan's hand. It looks like a Gust, a Singularity, and a Arcane Shift. I think that's a 3 cards.
That's correct. I agree with you fully.
Oh, there's a Fizz, too.
There's a Fizz, 4. Yep. But we're looking here, and it looks like the stack deck, again, can read Mandarin, is going to come out here.
I'm going to press exit out on that one, too. I feel like you're messing with me.
No. Look, I read it before they pulled up the card.
I'm gonna Google Translate something for you real quick. Keep talking about what's happening on screen.
Will do. Well, honestly, not much going on right now. We're kind of just thinking through the motions right here, trying to figure out how we want to take action. We're looking at the stack deck cards. What do we actually want to proceed forward with?
All right. Can you read that one for me?
Yes. Hi, how can I change the language to Chinese?
That's wrong. It's actually League of Legends.
League of Legends in Chinese.
You're wrong live. All right. Rek'Sai took 1 battlefield. Let's catch up on what else has happened. Alanzq has not scored a point here. Prismaticism is controlling the field very efficiently.
We're still on stack deck here, wondering what card.
You know what I think it was? I started being able to interpret Prismaticism's playstyle once I saw him doing push-ups between games. It was like a spiritual connection happened.
Do you think push-ups were done during this?
Well, I would hope. I would hope.
All right.
Otherwise, why was I doing them?
I'm trying to see what we just pulled, but I cannot. Is that a why? I really can't tell, but we're going to move that Rek'Sai in over to the Sigil of the Storm. And I thank you, broadcast. They're showing me down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And the traveling merchant is going to go ahead and come out. Thank you, because my Mandarin was messing up there. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to say.
Traveling merchant has hit the field. It's a pretty efficient unit early on. Now we're just establishing a board. This is what Prismaticism has done many, many times in its feature matches. And I imagine on the table matches as well, you go wide. You make a lot of units out there and still has all of his runes available. So you just exhausted 2 for the merchant and then readied them at the end of the turn.
Yep. So you got a lot to play with, but so does Alan here. We've got a couple of cards in hand, and we have something to deal damage with.
Yeah, Singularity's big, but the problem is like a double hard bargain really shuts it down. And Prismaticism has every rune available. That is 7 total.
That's
so Alanzq,
go in.
Maybe you would go for like the Arcane Shift on the Card Sharp. It can get you another gold gear. You can instead go for the, your Ezreal Prodigy, get the draws, then Arcane Shift, get the draws again. We're going to send the Card Sharp in.
All right, we have passed priority over to Prismaticism, and that is going to go through. We're going to take out only one of the Rek'Sais, but it's the start of the battle here.
Yeah, and now Arcane Shift can deal with the other one. So, like, you can send Ravenbloom. I'm just talking known information from specifically what's already on the field. We can always establish more units, but, like, you can send Ravenbloom into the Zon Warrens and then Arcane Shift back to base, sniping the Rek'Sai. You could, because then you're not really giving like the avenue for the Kai'Sa to attack in on the Ravenbloom student on the crackback. I feel like Ezreal Prodigy might be a good call here, just because it can get you more draws. Fizz on the hard bargain's also enticing because it can hit the Rek'Sai, and even if they like at reaction speed use the longsword to quick draw onto Rek'Sai, you can then still send the Ravenbloom in and crash anyway.
I see.
And then you still establish another unit. So there's a lot of lines for Alanzq. Like, these are the types of moments where I'm so happy I'm here and not there. Because if you're in the game-deciding, maybe even game-deciding moment, like, you're down 3 points. Like, this is the pivotal turn for Alanzq. You need to take back some semblance of control, and you have so many different lines to go down. Really tough decision tree to kind of navigate here.
Yeah, it looks like we've kind of maybe started to devise a plan. I notice we're divvying up the runes to kind of see maybe we could put down this Fizz, and we'll bring back a spell from the trash bin for that.
I think this one feels the best.
We're going to ignore the cost. Well, I mean, it's the only spell in the recycle bin at the moment was the Wages of Pain.
And the reason I think this one feels the best is because we save an action speed spell in the Arcane Shift for later. We get to establish another body on the field, and it forces an interaction out of Prismaticism. It's the Flash. It's not the Longsword, but still, like, now that Flash is gone. This is how Alan likes to play the Ezreals. You just chew through the resources. Flash is no longer available, and if you can target one more thing, because the target still happened, you can also get draws off of your Ezreal Prodigal Explorer. But there's nothing at Battlefield, so I think Singularity is actually the only thing that they have that can target
that backfield.
Yeah.
Now there are still, what, 2, 4, 5 runes up on the side of Prismaticism.
Not ideal, because that is double hard bargainable. Actually, you won't even need double hard bargain on Singularity. One would be enough.
You just need one. Yeah, it's not repeatable.
Giving purple a counterspell made all of these Chaos decks so strong.
Crazy. But there's, I mean, I see why it's needed. It's something to, like, you got to be able to deal with it in some way or fashion.
I still have this dream of making like an Irelia deck with 3 Hard Bargain, 3 Defy, 3 Not So Fast, 3 Wind Wall. And then you just kind of hope you never match against Lucian.
Yeah.
All right, Ezreal's hit the board. Prodigal is going to get discard 2 and draw 2. This signals to me that Alan might be going for a slower turn and instead opt for more resources, more choices for future turns. Here, you're still falling behind in points. Like, if we don't get a point here, that means theoretically Prismaticism will be at 5-0.
Oof.
Going into Alan's next turn.
Yeah, and that's that. I mean, that can't be optimal in any in any fashion.
I mean, I've seen decks come back from worse, but usually not in the semifinals against one of the best players in the world. So
yeah,
usually it happens against me at locals.
we just got to take some time here and
Still
really
traumatized.
analyze what direction we can move forward. We've got 3 more runes to play with, and we do have 1 readied unit. We could get on the board. Oh,
Opting
and we're
not to.
passing.
Yeah. If we get on the board, you're just sacrificing the Raven Bloom student. I don't think
Yeah.
that Alanzq's hand was able to protect it other than Arcane Shift. But I guess I want to save Arcane Shift for future turns because you can get back the Fizz to, you know, get the Gusts. You can get back the Ezreal to get more draws. It's a little more flexible if you use it on the other 2 and not the Raven Bloom.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting to get a little bit stressed as that Kai'Sa goes in and scores the 4th point. Now we're going to discard the card and draw from Kai'Sa real quick.
Excited. Looks like it.
I kind of want to see what we have in hand here, but we're holding them close to chest here. We're going to go ahead and exhaust 1 and stack deck.
What's that one say?
Stack deck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
I
you
told
do-
you I
maybe
can
you do
read. Yeah, I can read. I'm fluent, actually.
Let's see what the choice is. Looking at the hand, now looking back at the cards. I think there was a merchant there. That's the only one that I was able to quickly spot. I imagine that's not the choice. There's probably more efficient options, and it's Cleave that is taken a hand. And I think there was another one that I got.
That was
So
present,
that's
yeah.
2 Cleaves representing 6 additional assault strength when you're attacking in.
And we're going to
send the
go
Rek'Sai
ahead
in and not the merchant.
We're going to go ahead and secure that 5th point here, 5-0. It's starting to really get down to the wire.
Yep. Oh, and we're actually playing Annie Stubborn to get back the Flash.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Flash is known to go back in hand. That is known information for Alan.
And to me, this signals that Prismaticism is very happy with his hand. Because otherwise you'd go the Merchant and discard something that you don't think is that useful to get a different draw, and then you can Flash to move him back. But instead they said, no, I'm going to keep the exact hand, send the Rek'Sai in, use the Flash to be able to save that. And that means that Alan's probably sweating even more because you're like, okay, he's not even digging for anything.
Yeah.
He just has what he wants right now.
Has what he wants in hand.
Yeah, I like has what he has, though. That's a good saying, too. I mean, he's got what he's got.
You could kind of hear him say, like, I bet you're feeling excited while they're chit-chatting at the table here. But we're going to go ahead and stupefy real quick.
The
to
Rek'Sai.
get that draw.
Okay. That's going to make it harder to take out the Kai'Sa on the other side, but Rek'Sai is now at 2 might, and Fizz will go in.
Now, we do have the Flash in hand, but I don't think we really need to. What do you think? Oh, we don't, because the longsword, that says longsword,
That
by
one
the
says
way.
longsword. Yeah.
The longsword is coming out.
And that's going to be 4 defending on 3 attacking. Alanzq will need something else. Another Stupefy potentially. A Gust is not enough. No, it's 4 might. Wages of Pain would crash. Like there's things in the Ezreal deck to do this. And again, we do also know that there's the Arcane Shift, which banishes a friendly unit, then replaces it, and deals 3 damage to a unit at a battlefield. So you can also do that to kind of blink the Fizz out, and then hit the Rek'Sai. Actually, you'd have to blink the Ezreal out. Stupefy, I think, is the cleanest one. He had another one. Alan just loves chaining these Stupefies together.
Stupefies. All right, so we're going to stupefy that Rek'Sai one more time, tap our legend, And we're buffing the Ravenborn. Yeah, let's go ahead and make sure we know that that is equipped to the Rek'Sai here.
So -2, +2, back to 3 might defending on the Fizz. This would be a crash. Alanzq still, at this point, can now look to use things like Gust or Wages of Pain to just remove the Rek'Sai from the board. I haven't gotten a good peek at Alanzq's hand in a while. Again, we know it's Singularity and Arcane Shift and Gust. Those are the 3 that I remember from before, but he's drawn multiple cards since then. 2 draws off the Stupefies, a draw off of the Prodigal Explorer Legend ability. And this is a contested game stay. One thing that I heard, Barrett, the show floor host, he actually had a really good point that he made earlier, which was when you get to the top tables, like these big matchups, one combat can be the decider of the entire series, or at least the entire game. And in this case, the entire series, because it is game 3. So I think that this is one of those combats where it's like, depending on how this one goes, how many resources Alan has to spend here to get the first point. There's hard bargain.
There's hard bargain for that flash. Don't really want to let them run away from this battle here. We need to try and get some battlefields open and some units off the board on the side of Prismaticism.
And and with the +3 might, that's 5 attacking 4.
Hey, we've cleared the battlefields, which is half the battle. We're on the board. We've got our 1 point for Alan.
Also, we got to utilize Ezreal Prodigy's second ability, which doesn't come up as often with Called Shot Band, but your repeat costs are 1 less. So that double hard bargain was only 3 runes. I believe that that's what happened there with 3 Exhausted and then the 2 from the Stupefies earlier. And Ezreal can still go in. We still have the Arcane Shift. So Alan, like in terms of current board state and resource state, is feeling pretty good. In terms of point pressure, Prismaticism is within 2 turns of winning. That's putting pressure on Alan, who is still...
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
You can score here, but then you're 3 turns away from winning if you do. 4 if you don't. Like, I feel like you kind of have to score here if you're Alan.
You kind of have to lock in here and start getting these points on the board because you're starting to trail behind and it's starting to hurt.
He's passing. So Alan's actually playing a really patient play. You heard Charmer talking earlier about the importance of even points. There's no Aspirant's Climb in this game. It's 8 to win. So Alanzq has delayed the turn timer he needs, or the amount of turns he needs to win the game. You can only score a maximum of 2 in a turn. Unless he's on some crazy like Yasuo shenanigans, which I highly doubt. So that means that if you score 2, that's 3, then another 2, that's 5, another 2, that's 7. Okay, thank you for showing us the Yasuo Windrider. Again, I don't expect that one. But essentially, it's going to be 4 turns that Alan has to play minimum to win this game. Prismaticism, 2 turns minimum to win this game. That is a vastly different clock.
Yeah, and we're going ahead and we're scoring another point with this Annie and Longsword. We're going to stack deck real quick to see if we can get a little shum-shum. Yep. Okay, shum-shum was gotten.
Shum-shum?
Shum-shum was gotten. We did put 2 cards on the bottom, and we're going to play another stack deck.
More.
We gotta see if we can get a little shum-shum.
A little shum-shum else.
We're shum-shum. All right. We did, again, find that shum-shum. I feel like it's getting worn out here. But
yeah, I wasn't going to do it again. But that was mostly because I don't think I'm quite nailing the inflection. Yeah,
you got to hit it just right sometimes.
Yeah, you know. There's
but
art to it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we got what we wanted maybe, and the Ferris Forerunner is going to come out on the side of Prismaticism.
I imagine Alan did it at that moment because you're probably not going to get another action window. Prismaticism doesn't need to score 2 this turn. You only need 1, because then you can score 2 on your next turn. Yep. So you probably weren't going to get another action window. You might as well throw out both stack decks in that action window. But again, that's what... If we count up the number of total runes Alanzq has had available at the end of Prismaticism's turns throughout this game, it's probably like 10.
Yeah.
Because I think that was 4, and there were 2 different turns with 3. So Prismaticism is just playing such a coy game right now. He's just not letting Alan do the Ezreal things where he's like playing on your turn.
Right.
And Alan is just kind of like not having efficient rune expenditures turn over turn over turn, and I think that's really what we're feeling is putting him in this hole.
Dang, so that sounds like it's hurting a lot as this thousand-tailed watcher comes out here.
To defend a point, Alan's realizing the situation they're in right now. It's like kind of do or die.
Yeah.
-3 might on the Annie puts it at 2.
And we're going to move in that Ezreal immediately to see if we can clear up this board.
It's 3 attacking 2, so Prismaticism would have to use something like another longsword, maybe a gust. Nope, it's
all right. He's gonna clear it. So we're doing stuff.
We're doing stuff.
We're making stuff happen.
But I think at that point, Annie had accomplished her job. A 3-might unit that doesn't do anything on board. Whatever. You know, you got the Ferris Forerunner. And probably things like Rek'Sai, Kai'Sa in hand. So I think Annie and Prismaticism are feeling just fine right now. You even have Rebukes to deal with this. Alanzq does have 5 runes to try and play defense with. And again, we know that there's things like Arcane Shift, which paired with the Thousand-Tailed Watcher is kind of crazy because you can pull back the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, replay it, and then snipe 3 damage, and then Thousand-Tail will drop the Might of Everything by 3. That damage sticks. So then you can actually get them in range to just kill stuff.
I see here. And all right.
So currently 7 runes for Prismaticism to play with. Reagan, how many times has he touched his hair so far in this game alone?
He's been going through those luscious locks all day. And, you know, I understand you're stressed, but dang,
it's part of the process. It's part of the process.
It probably helps him think.
Alanzq, it was also part of his process many years ago, and that's part of the current situation.
Did you used to do that as well?
Yes, I actually did. I did the whole Bieber flip thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, just constantly. It kind of became a tick.
Did it hurt your neck? That looks like it would hurt your neck.
Well, it did, but now I've been doing a lot of neck workouts. Thank you for asking me about that, actually. You know,
we gotta get back to the game here. Let's see. Prismaticism is still thinking here before we get on that tangent.
Well, now you're the one bringing us back on it.
Oh, my bad.
Check my Twitter recently.
So we're thinking, y'all. We're thinking. I really got to drag out that we're thinking here because we cannot go down that road.
86 minutes. Like, they are taking their time on here.
We do not have overtime here because we're in the semifinals. They get to really bring out the knowledge, the time that they need to figure out these plays.
I'm just looking at Alan right now, just like pondering the pondering of Prismaticism.
Yep.
Who, again, you know, this is a player that likes to take his time, likes to play a wide game of Riftbound. He actually has probably the least number of units for this amount of points that I've ever seen. Usually he's still got like 8 units in base, but he has been committing them to the field because he realized that, I imagine at least he realized, I don't speak for him of course, but he had the clock in his favor and Alan just wasn't able to really get out there and pressure points early on. Prismaticism, even though he is, you know, 3 points ahead, still was playing really patient in the early game. Transition to mid-game went a little harder on just putting out things like the Rek'Sai, had the flash to defend them all, was always going out getting the points when he can pull back the units. Now has the potential winning angle. Has he finally found it? He has picked up a rune, and he has exhausted it.
Boom, we're cleaving, and it looks like we're cleaving the I forgot the name, Ferrari runner.
Ferrari.
And we are going to swing in with 9 might. The smoke screen comes out from Alan. Automatic response. We knew what we wanted to do here.
Very, very big, as now it's cumulatively -1 on the Ferris Forerunner from the +3 on the cleave and the -4 from the smoke screen, +1 on the Ravenbloom student, means that it is now 10 defending against 5 attacking.
All right, well, I think we have a response for that. We're going to then send
Rengar.
Do you read Mandarin?
I do. No, I don't. It's a picture. I told you. It looks like Rengar.
So we're going to send in the Rengar here into the fight right here. See if we can get anything else out from Alan.
It's going to be 10 might because Rengar's 3 might with Assault 2. Reaction, you can play it to a battlefield that you're attacking. It's basically ambush before ambush as a keyword was printed.
I can't wait for Rengar to be a legend, man. It's going to be so much fun.
That thrilled hunt print here. I'm going to find a way to break this game, I promise you. But as of right now, it's about thinking the game again, Alan. Actually, I don't know who has priority right now. Or it's focused for Prismaticism, but has he passed priority, or is it still an action window for Prismaticism?
I think it's for Prismaticism right now, if I remember correctly, because we put the Rengar down. We just have to decide, do we want to let this just, like, go?
Yeah. I mean, like, a crash here is advantageous for Prismaticism. You get 2 mech tokens. For Alan, I think the advantage of that too is like you're not really expecting anything accelerated. Rek'Sai's the cheapest accelerate in the any deck, and that's 4. It's 3 to play it, but then an additional 1 and a recycle to accelerate. There's only 3 runes up on Prismaticism side right now, so I don't think that that's likely. Maybe it'd be like Ride the Wind, because you could like equip Longsword and then Ride the Wind over onto the Ezreal. That would probably be like the only angle left for Prismaticism to win the game. And it's been a while since I've actually gotten a peek at his hand.
Yeah.
Again, I think he's intentionally playing around my goldfish memory. So I'm going to think it through until Steve forgets what I had.
The more you try to remember, the more he doesn't want you to see. I low-key want to see...
Oh, okay. I guess it was Alan's.
It was Alan's opportunity to respond, and we've got the Arcane Shift coming out, and then the hard bargain in response, and then another cleave to make it this much harder for Alan to make this resolve in his favor. So instead of that -1 on the Rengar, instead we're going to have a +5.
Wow.
Or the -1 on the runner. +5 on the Rengar.
Yeah, because you got the +2 from the Assault. Now another cleave coming in here. So that's 8 + 4. And that's the handshake. Alanzq concedes it. Prismaticism, for the first time ever, is making it to a regional finals.
Oh my gosh, he did it. Annie is going on another run here in the finals. We're going to have Annie versus Draven.
It's been a long time since we've seen Annie have the opportunity to take the finals, to take the win. It's Chaos and Fury matchup in the finals. 2 very different legends, 2 very similar color palettes, and 2 very explosive potential matchups here. Prismaticism, he took his time, but he found the right angle to go in there. It was just make the Rengar bigger. Just cleave on him, and that's going to be enough.
Yes, and the passing of the priority there, like he knew, like, okay, I still have these cards in hand. I can probably still hard bargain if he does come back with something. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited!
That was it. Hey, all the hair pulling, all the thinking, it was worth it. It got him the win, okay?
Yes,
that's what matters. Prismaticism, he had topped 3 times. Never made it to a finals. Top 4 was the furthest he had made it. So this is a big moment for this player, making it the furthest you've ever done in a regional after so many consistent performances. And now could win the whole thing. But let's hear from the player himself ahead of the finals appearance.
Could win the whole thing himself, indeed. That's right, I have our second finalist now locked in here. Kyle, Prismaticism, how does it feel to be now into the finals? You've gotten so many top cuts, and here you are, finally, the last game, the last match that you have to win to take home that crown. How are you feeling?
A bit tired. I mean, it's been a grind. Like the match against Colin, match against Alan, they've been very tough matches, right down to the wire every time. And the Draven matchup I think is pretty good for me.
I think we can all kind of agree to that. You obviously have been practicing for the Draven matchup. You and, of course, your friend who you just had to eliminate from the tournament. Alanzq, great friend, great player, if not maybe the 2 best Riftbound players in the world right now, playing against each other in top 4. You must have channeled some of that energy from him. As you know, I saw you channeling some of that granola bar in the middle of that match. So you're energized, you've done your push-ups, you've gotten some food, you've gotten some water in you. I genuinely have to ask you, do you think you could maybe even be more prepared for this upcoming match?
I could probably be a little bit. I'll have to see what his deck list is. Haven't had anyone to scout it when he was playing his other matches. That'd be useful. And I've got the buff beating Diwali regional winner and Alan regional winner. So I've got a lot of momentum going for me.
Yes, you do. Not even just that. You're so sharp from all these tournaments. Just in Leo last weekend, of course, with that top 4, still piloting the ante, getting that best of. And of course, we saw that second one that you've already locked in on the table, of course, sitting across from the best of Ezreal. I'll be honest, Prismaticism, I don't know what else to really ask you because I just can't wait to get to this finals match. So the only thing I really want you to talk about is the kind of work and preparation, once again, that you and your playtest team has really done getting to this point. I'm just big on the storylines that come with these players like you that work so hard training for a moment like this, and it pays off. It's exactly what you've worked for, and here you have the chance to prove it, that you could be one of the best Riftbound players, not just here in Atlanta, but in the whole world.
It all pays off. You got to be tough on yourself, though. You can't tolerate any mistakes. You got to be able to look back at every game, try to find something to improve. It's tough.
Tough it's going to be because we've got Coco Lopez on the other side for this finals match. Don't go anywhere because we've got an incredible finals here at the original qualifier in Atlanta, but we're going to send it back